talk to you briefly about how to weld with 6010 rods as a beginner. I had one of my followers ask me about running some patting some beads. So for the sake of time, I've already cleaned off a 6-piece coupon. This is about 6 inches long, 3/8 thick. And the goal for today is to just the exercise is just to run some beads with the 6010s. So the main pattern used with the 6010s, especially if you're using them on pipe welding, it's going to be the whipping technique, the back and forth zigzag type technique. That's one of the most known ones. Now another one is a circular motion, but a lot of times that is not used on grooves for piping, because with that motion you can actually get some undercut or cut into the side wall. So that whipping motion actually helps it fill in a lot better than the circular motion do. So today I'm actually going to do a couple, and the goal is to just show you a couple tips. I think that it's very important that we would keep it tight. So I have 3 things that I say all the time. I say angle, gap, travel speed. Those 3 things are very important, family. Very, very, very important. And those are 3 things you can control. That is in your control. So it's all about how you angle in the rod, how close you are, and how fast you're going. That is going to make your weld turn out so nice, fam. And literally, the more you do this, the better you're going to get. Even for a seasoned vet. I got over 20 years experience, and if I don't come on here and I don't do no practicing, you know, I still got the basics, but I still have to fine tune it to get it like I like it. So I would say start off at the bare minimum as far as your amperage. Start off at the bare minimum. So if you're using 1/8 inch rods, that's what we're gonna be using today. We're gonna start off at the bare minimum at 85 amps. So I got it set on 85 amps. I love to say you don't want to have too many amps, especially if you're trying to control the keyhole. If you got too many amps on it, it's going to be hard for you, especially if it's on thin wall pipe. Now I can see if it's on schedule 80 or something, you know what I mean, some thicker stuff. But normal schedule 40, you just want to keep a nice keyhole. You don't want too much amps because it's going to be hard for you to control your keyhole if the amperage is crazy. And also, you want to stay tight. I was talking today to a student about the flashlight technique, and actually I got my light on me. So the cool thing about the flashlight technique, if I sit it down right on this table right here, I can still see the light, but barely. I can barely see the light. As I get to raising it, I get to see the light more and more. And that's the same thing that happens when you long arcing. You want to keep that light tight. If it getting bright like this, you're long arcing it and causing air to get into your weld, which is going to cause you some pinholes or some porosity. So the way to prevent that is to stay tight, 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 tight. So before I dive into everything, I'm going to set my messages, make sure I keep everybody posted. If y'all have anything you want to ask me while we going live, make sure you ask me while we going live, fam. It's all love. Thanks for checking in. I'm going live right now on YouTube and TikTok. So the main tips, like I say, someone just asked me for some uphill. The main tips, family, is just like I say, travel speed, amp, your gap, and your angle. Those are going to apply to whatever position. If you're flat, if you're up, down, over, whatever, horizontal, it's still gonna be the same. So I'm gonna burn a couple now. And also you don't have to work on keeping a straight line. So I love to use the edge of the plate. You know, you can use it as your guideline for your line, you know, as you're going. But you always, if you got to, I got a piece of soapstone here. If you got to, mark your piece. I like to keep it a little away from the edge. So I like to try to, when I'm starting, I try to stay about an 1/8 or so away from the edge, because that edge tends to burn off while you're working on it. So today we're gonna do this little exercise, and like I say, I don't know the gentleman that hit me up about doing this, but I lost his message, but I hope he get a chance to see this. And also, I'm going to post it. I'm going to read back and post it so y'all can check it out. It will be on YouTube, so you can go back and check this out. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see what I'm doing from a distance. I'm by myself, fam, but I will be taking this coupon off. I got the clamps over here, so that way I can bring it up close and kind of show y'all some of the techniques that I'm doing. All right, so the first thing I would say is, when I'm flat anyway, I like to hold my rod like this. If I'm going vertical or overhead, if I'm overhead, I hold it like this. If I'm vertical, I hold it like this. But if I'm flat, I like it like this. That's just me personally. Everybody got their own way they like to do it, but this is how I like to hold it. All right, I will always say get situated. Make sure you're comfortable. I love to say get in front of the plate because sometimes you can be on the side and you can go off and, you know, so you want to try to stay straight and you want to get comfortable and do some dry runs. I love saying do dry runs because if you don't prepare like this, you might get right in the center and be uncomfortable and something have to happen. So if you can, proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, family. I love to say that all the time, but it really does. So if you prepare properly, it's going to make this a whole lot easier. So let's get some fire going. And our goal, like I say, our goal is we're going to be whipping it or stepping it. And our goal is to keep it tight and to see, you know, how best, the goal is to make the beads as best as we can. So as you're doing it, you'll get to seeing your dimes. When you're stacking these, this is really where you get to see your dimes. You know, we talk about dropping dimes and picking up hundreds. You can drop dimes with this 60-10 rod. Now, I just want to say, this 60-10 rod is mostly used on pipe. If you're going to be doing a lot of structural welding, and outside, it's going to be more 70-18. So 70-18 is God outside, but 60-10 is good for the root pass, for connecting pipe, and doing just the root passes and then covering up with a 70-18. All right, so I'm gonna start from left to right since I'm right-handed. Now I'm gonna tell you something else I do. When I'm sitting down, sometimes I put my my elbow on my knee, and I move it, and then it helps me with my travel speed without having to move my body. I think that's a good tip too. Woo, burned pretty good, fam, burned pretty good. And all I was doing was stepping with it. And I think the more, like I say, the more we do it, the better we're gonna get with the stepping. But that turned out pretty well. Let's clean it off real quick. Now for the sake of this exercise, I'm using the grinder with the rod brush, because as we know, that 60-10 slag can get a little, you know, you really need something to get it off. Trying to chip and just regular with a regular chipper hammer, sometimes it can be a little rough coming off. But it wasn't bad, so I wanted to put that on there. That way we could be able to see the welds a little bit better while we're practicing this exercise. And like I said, the goal was just to run a straight one then. That both of y'all see this one. Step back. Hopefully both of y'all can see it. I'm gonna step in close too. I'm gonna step in close to YouTube. Y'all check it out. See those dimes? TikTok, y'all see that? So this jacket right here is a local company. Shout out to Wellsco, our Arkansas local company. I actually purchased this from them. They do give discounts to students. So if you are a student in Arkansas and you're a welding student, you actually can get a little discount if you go there and shop with them at one of their local stores. They have a few different stores throughout the state of Arkansas, but I am in Little Rock, Arkansas. So if you would go down to Roosevelt, to the one on Roosevelt, you can get you one there. They got them different sizes and stuff like that. They even got some different colors, but this right here is pretty cool. This is the one that we get for the students, so I just got me one too. So I can kind of blend in with them, so it's all good. I had a black one, but I changed it up. It actually didn't have the leathers. I like it better with the leathers on the sleeve because we be working with overhead. So I'm gonna let y'all see that one more time, fam. Thanks for checking in, YouTube in the building. Thanks for checking in. TikTok, I appreciate that. Honestly, when it comes to the Welding Hoods family, there's many you can pick from. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is a Lincoln Viking 3355. So this hood right here is a little expensive, but it was a gift. So this hood right here is close to $400, a little over $400, but I say you can get a good hood for 50, 60 bucks, 150 bucks. You know what I mean? You ain't got to break the bank on no welding hood. So it all depends on what you want and what you're doing. If you in the field, you don't really want no $500, $600 welding hood outside anyway. So, you know, if you in a shop fabricating, you want a fabricating hood. So that's what I always say. But I wouldn't, if I'm gonna be outside in construction, I wouldn't break the bank. All right, so let's get back to it, fam. So y'all see, we dropped some dimes there. Now, with this one, we're actually gonna have a tie-in. So we're gonna use all the rods, because just like if you was buying, once it get like this, you don't throw them away, you still use it. So we're gonna actually have a tie-in on this one, but the goal is to keep it close to the next one. I have seen some students when they're starting practicing on 6010s or practicing rods, period, they'll just run lines all down the plate and they have all these gaps in them. I think that it's best if you would kill several birds with one stone and keep them welds together. That way you're learning how to weld, and also you're learning how to keep it tight, which is, you know, what's gonna help you from doing fillet welds and grooves and testers and stuff like that. So that's just something of my personal opinion. All right, let's step into this. I know why I did that. I ain't got it tacked to the table, so my art kind of messed up. Now, 6010 is a fast freezing rod. We made it about half the plate. So 6010 is a fast freezing rod. Normally once you come out, it's already froze by the time you go back. So you don't want to be whipping it all the way out. So I've seen people do that long stuff. Keep it real tight, family. Keep it real, like barely moving out the puddle. You don't want your dimes to have a whole lot of separation in them, so keep that in mind. I do want to say this. Always practice, like when you're tying in, I would say this as a rule of thumb. You want to come in at least about a 1/4 inch in head of your weld and then bring it into it, do a little small, normally I call it a swoop or a little circle, and then start your pattern. And to me, it helps that weld lay down, like it helps flatten it out, where you won't have like a big knot on that tight end. So that's just to prevent the knots on the tie ends. Like I said, we're gonna burn a few, and For the sake of time, like I say, I'm just gonna clean it, let it rest just a hair, and then we're gonna dive back in it. But the goal with running some, on the clean it. See a little bit more slag. So the goal is we're focusing on running straight beads, fam. And we want to tie in to the existing. So I'm gonna bring it in some. YouTube, check it out. You can see that little tie-in right there. Hopefully my next one will be a little bit better. That wasn't that bad though. But you want to tie in. You see how you tie it in? You want to tie in to your previous weld. Keep that in mind. Always remember to tie in to your previous weld, to the toe. And the toe, I love to say the toe is like the end of the rainbow. You know, you got an end on this side, you got an end on that side. When you drop that weld, it's like a rainbow. You know, it's like this here. It should be concave like this. I mean, convex like this. On this side is the toe, on that side is the toe. So you want to make sure you're running that weld right along that toe, fam, right along that toe. Keep that in mind. That's gonna make it just, it's gonna make everything work out. And especially if you doing pipe or structural, if you got a groove, it's just gonna really help you fill that coupon up. Yes, just doing a little stick for today, family. I appreciate everybody from checking in. Like I say, I'm doing live on YouTube and TikTok. I wanted to talk about the 6010 because a few people have inboxed me about doing some live videos and having issues on having long, real big spaces. Now, like I say, you can do circular motion, but I would literally try to critique that whipping. Because if you're working on pipe and you're working on being a pipe welder, you want to get that whipping down. And also, you want to get just the whipping down, like if you're doing certain fillet welds, it's a less chance to get undercut if you're tying into, you know, like digging into the metal. When you stare into the groove and then you pause it and allow it to feed. So remember this, when you come out of it and go back, hesitate just a hair. Hesitate just a hair. Hesitate just a hair. That way, the weld is actually filling in and it's preventing you from getting undercut. It's preventing you from getting undercut, fam. I just wanted to check my message. Some people say they can't stand 6010s. Yeah, I got a lot of people don't like them, fam. And actually in construction, like I'm a pipe welder, I'm a combination of welder. So I'm a combo welder and I'm a pipe welder. And doing my combo, all I do is structural. But I'm a pipe welder doing stick welding. I'm a certified on 6010 and 7018. And I've also TIG weld pipe roots and all the way out too. But I didn't do that more. I did more stick than I did stainless. But I did a lot of stainless and carbon pipe. Those are my only two I really dealt with. And I did a lot of aluminum. I did some aluminum, but it was on structural things and ornamental things and making stuff. A lot of aluminum parts, making things. But it wasn't ever like big grooves and stuff like that on aluminum. So, but I would say though, with the 6010, one thing to keep in mind, you want to have your motion tight. As I was looking on here, I can see how close my dimes is, and that's really what you want. But you don't want a lot of air to get in, so you don't want a long arc it at all, fam. I seen a message pop up. Oh, you said you hate it but love the challenge. Okay. Hey, hate it but love the challenge, man. It is a good challenge, fam. In order for us to get good, we got to challenge ourselves. So let's dive back into it. And like I said, we're going to be using this rod, all the rods, and tying in and stuff like that. I should have enough with this one to actually finish it. Let's dive into it. And like I say, take your time. Your goal is you want to make your next weld better than your last weld. And for the rule of thumb, I always try to get down to the numbers. I'm right at the numbers too, fam. So a rule of thumb, I try to get down to the numbers when I'm burning these. Want to come up, see if I got any questions, any tips. This is an 1/8 inch 60-10 rod. Just had to block somebody, family, for talking sideways. No, I'm using the 1/8 inch rod, fam. Yeah, I do a lot of stuff besides teaching. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in. I've been welding over 20 years, fam. Over 20 years. I got introduced to welding at 17. That's when I got introduced. And I'm 43 years old. I'll be 44 the end of this month. I got a birthday this month, fam. March the 29th. So if you're cool with me, come fool with me. Yes, I'm about to get ready to show you these. I'm letting it cool down some. The technique I use, the technique I am using on this 60-10 is the whipping technique. Back and forth. Pause. Pause. That's what I'm using. Let's clean it up and check it out. And remember, the goal is to stay tight, stay on the toe of your previous weld. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. Now I'm finna bring it closer. Let YouTube check it out. Y'all see that pretty good? And we're stacking dimes, fam. We're stacking dimes. Right now, we done ran about 3 Bs. We're keeping it real tight. The goal is to keep it tight, fam. There you go. Let y'all check that out. TikTok. Going pretty good. And all we doing, fam, all I'm doing, fam, is the whip technique. Now, I got it set on 95 amps. And as you notice, what I'm doing is 60-10s are an aggressive rod. So it gives sparks and, you know, it's a little more aggressive, a lot more aggressive than the 70-18. So if you got the proper amperage, you won't have as much, but you're still going to have that because that's just part of the dynamics of that rod. Most definitely, when it comes to 60-10 rods, any rods actually, you want to make sure you keep them dry. You know, if you got a heat oven or not, you at least want to keep them out of the elements. These actually come fresh out of oven. So I got them kind of fresh and crisp. You know, to me, when you get them out of the oven, man, and they have it, and they're not too hot when you burn them up. I done had some people have the oven cranked up too high. You get the rod, the flux fall off. I'm like, man, you got it too hot. My favorite rod is the 70-18, fam. That's the god of all rods. And actually, I got one sitting up here. 70-18. 1/8 inch or 3/32 or 5/32. But whichever one it is, that's one of my favorite ones to run. But I like I say, I like dropping dimes, stacking it. This is what I started on first. I started with 60-10s in every position, just like, you know, they'll teach y'all in school. So I would say learn how to do this in every position. You can go uphill and downhill with the 60-10, but majority of times I have just seen them go downhill with the 60-10, especially on piping and things like that. So let's tie back in, fam. So like I say, right now I'm not even putting no soapstone down because I'm going off the toe of the weld. As long as you go off the toe of the weld, that's your line. Just make sure you can see. And let me say this to my students. Depends on what type of hood. If you ain't working with a fixed lens, make sure after you put your hood on or before that it is set where it needs to set. Like if it's on the outside and you done touched it and moved it. I have a lot of students that touch it and they got it. Man, I can't see. They didn't put it on grind mode. Didn't even know it. Always check everything, fam. Let me say this again. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. I say this in everything. This relates to whatever you're doing in life. You know what I mean? Always prepare, fam. Always prepare. So I am in Little Rock, Arkansas. For those who want to know, this is the G-Tech Goodwill Welding Academy. It is a 16-week welding program. You learn stick welding, flux core welding in 4 positions, but we test you in 2. You learn how to MIG weld, the introduction to TIG welding, how to use the arc gouger, the plasma cutter, the cutting torch, and you get your OSHA 10, and we go over weld symbols and blueprints. Win-win. 16 weeks, $100 deposit, $37.75, so it's under $4,000. It's a game changer. Under $4,000, and we do have partners that will hire you fresh out this class. So you can start making $60K a year. Now that's with some overtime, but you can get out of here, start making between $17 and $22 an hour starting out. Now that's beginner wages, starting out. If you were just making minimum wage or a couple dollars more, you can start out 17 to 22 based on you and what you do on your weld test, fam. If you come in, you put the work ethics in, we're gonna put our name on your family and help you win. So if you know somebody that needs this type of information, that need this help, we are in Little Rock, Arkansas off of Scott Hamilton Drive. The address is 7400 Scott Hamilton Drive. The phone number is 501-372-5100, extension 1211. Talk to the specialist, family. Ask them some questions. They do have grants and scholarships and things like that available. They do have different ways you can get into the program if the finances is a situation for you. But if it's not, family, I'm gonna tell you, it's worth it. There isn't a program in a 5-hour radius where you can pay and get this type of education without going in debt. I'm just gonna let you know. We got people traveling to the area just to get the education and go back to their area and work, because it's a win-win, fam. It's a win-win. So not only is the program great, you got me, fam. You got me. So that's make it even better because I've been in the field, the shop, on my business. I'm an entrepreneur. I can give you tips that you're not going to get from a regular average instructor. And that's why I named this channel Your Welding Coach, because it's more than welding, fam. I got to coach you on a few different things. If it's from helping you on a entrepreneur standpoint, helping you build products and start your own business, from just helping you deal with life and work around life while you're trying to weld, fam. I mean, life is real. And it's going to be hard to teach a person how to weld correctly and sufficiently if there's issues and things you're dealing with in your personal life and you don't know how to navigate through them. So I got to be your coach too, fam. I want to motivate you, be your life coach, kind of give you some direction, help you make a decision, you know what I mean? So when you come into these lives or when you come and see my videos, fam, literally, I'm not boasting, I'm not stepping on nobody. I'm not saying I'm the best person. Even though I got over 20 years experience, I learn something new all the time, fam. But my goal is to help someone that don't know the trade, a beginner. I don't care if you young or you old, you know what I mean? If you step in here, family, I'm gonna treat everybody like children so I can, give you the game. So I don't believe in stepping on nobody. I don't believe in belittling anyone. I'm not gonna disrespect anyone, and I will not tolerate any disrespect. So if a person come on, that's the only thing I'm gonna do, fam. I ain't gonna swap no spit. I'm gonna block you and keep it moving, fam, because I got people that's in here that really, really want the help. So for those who really want it, fam, I wanna bring it to you and keep it live and keep it fresh for you. So let's dive into it, and then I'm gonna come over there and ask some questions. I see I got a couple messages popped up. But let's go and drop this one, fam. Let's get us some smoke in the city real quick. Remember to get comfortable. Get your dry run. Make sure you're good. All right, let's go. So it doesn't matter. As you see, this is just a battling rod, fam. If I would run a 70-18 rod, you would just see the extreme difference of the smoothness. I like to call this rod Fred Flintstone. You know how they used to pedal their cars with the feet, with the rocks on them? That's what you're doing with this rod. But when you step in this rod, the 7018, they just came out with the T-model, family. You can hit a switch, hit a button, boop, 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 and just drive down the road. So this like having an automatic car. This like having something that you literally, you got a car body, but you got some bicycle training pulleys on it. So you got to do everything manual labor. So pretty cool. But this is the fun rod, fam, and they do a lot of this outside in construction, especially on pipe. Now you will see some using it around the farm, but since that rod don't have a lot of alloys in it, it can break and crack under a lot of pressure. So if you're using something that's gonna be banging or hitting or jerking or pulling, you would rather use a 7018 rod because it got more alloys in it. It actually, that number 8 means it got that many alloys in it. When you see 6010, it says 0. So that 7018 got a lot of more alloys where it makes it flex and move. That's why they use it on bridges and buildings and things like that. And on caps on pipes and filling out pipes because of the strongness of it. Just drop them, stack back so y'all can see them. And I'm stacking them, fam. That's all we doing. We stacking them. We keeping them tight. We dropping dimes. And like I say, you seen the angle. Just remember your angle, your gap, and your travel speed. And you'll be okay. Just keep that in mind. Here you go, TikTok. I appreciate everybody for checking in with me. Like I say, right now I'm going live on YouTube and live on TikTok. So I appreciate y'all for checking in. Oh, salute. You like the way I described the 7018 and the 6010? Yeah, man, like I said, I've been doing it for a while, and that's what I like to tell everybody, fam. I ain't no lie. Like, when someone asked me, I said, man, literally, 6010, family, is like Fred Flintstone. You're pounding your wheels because you got to do something. You're always working it. You know what I'm saying? Not only you got your angle, and you keeping it tight, and you got to work it. But with the 7018, though, you can pop and just let it do its thing, fam. Let it do its thing. Let me ask a couple more questions. It is, family. You're right. I can't agree with you. It's easy to make a buck joint. I put some of those up and do some of them later for you. I'm gonna tell you what. Actually, it's 5 joints that you need to be familiar with. So let me just throw that out there real quick. You have your buck joint, you got your T joint, your lap joint, your quarter joint, and your edge joint. Those are the 5 joints you have. And I will do a video actually going over those 5 joints. What I'm gonna do is I'll make them all up, and then for the sake of time, clean them all up, and then we'll do, one at a time and go live on it and just give a couple tips on doing them and stuff like that. Yes, I can, fam. I'm certified at it. I mean, I'm real good at it. I did a whole lot of piping 6010, like a whole lot. That's why I actually got 3 certs. So I got my 6G certification cert. Then I got my 3G 1-inch limited for bridge welding. And then I actually got my 3 and 4G unlimited in flux core. And someone asked me about the lapping with the 6010. I say the main thing to do, family, is to run on the toe of that weld, fam. Honestly, family, I would just Google. I just say Google, what's the best AWS certified facility near me? It might be someone private in your area that you can pay. That's a CWI, CWE, and he can get you certified. But I would just say use your phone, fam, Google, because I done been traveling and found deals. Actually, when I got my first certification, which is my 6G, I was traveling, leaving North Carolina and I know I had to go through Oklahoma, and I called Tulsa, and I went to Tulsa Tech, to college. Shout out to Tulsa Tech, and I had set up an interview to come in and do my pipe test, and I think it was 200, 250 or something like that. Man, I came in, took the test. Dude gave me a certification and sent it to me on the road, fam. I got my paper. I've been having them ever since. So always network yourself. Never be afraid to network. The main tips on running 60-10, even if you're doing this 6G, I would say keep it tight. Remember, angle, gap, travel speed. So I would say keep a moderate amount of amperage. I wouldn't go crazy on it. Between 85 to 90 amps, depends on your machine, because different machines run different. Because I just can't say 90 amps, and you might be on a machine 90 amps. It's like running 100 amps. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you keep it on low, 85 to 90 amps. I wouldn't let it go no more than that, in my personal opinion. That way you can control the puddle. And that's going to be the main thing, fam. Salute, salute. Thanks for that shirt. Thanks for that shirt. So we're going to run one more, fam. For the sake of time, we're going to run one more before I get up out of here. It is Friday. I hope everybody's having a good, wonderful Friday. I'm having some plans on having a good Friday myself. Hopefully I get a visit. Hopefully I got someone visiting me, get some visits this month, this week. But other than that, fam, like I said, we're going to run one more. And the main thing, fam, I just want y'all to know, just to be patient. When you're working on this, and literally don't just put beads all over the plate. When you drop one weld, tie it into the toe of the next weld, work on staying straight and consistent, like keep all of those things in line, and that way you can actually see your progress. But if you just got welds all over the plate, it's gonna be hard to control. It's gonna be hard to tell your improvement, you know what I mean? So remember, drop a bead, clean a bead, run of the toe of the previous weld. So let's burn one, fam. And before I let y'all go, let's burn one more. So I remember, get comfortable again. I always like to make sure do my dry runs. So before I let y'all go, a few people had asked me about some jobs in the area. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas. And it's a company here called Lexicon that is awesome, man. I want to tell y'all a little bit about them. They have a traveling division. They have a few different divisions in the city. They got prospect steel and custom metals. They do a lot of girders. They do beams, columns, a lot of presser vessels, different things, fam. And they're in the city of Little Rock. They've been here. I believe the company got started, I believe, in 1968. It's a family-owned company when it got started. They really believe in helping their people. They actually building up a program. They actually got a Lexicon funding program to help educate their own employees. So that's a benefit from them. You can actually grow through the company. Like, there's so many benefits. But being a beginner, they're willing to give you a chance, fresh out of high school, fresh out of welding school, and they also are working on forming their own welding school here soon. They're gonna have their own thing going. They do have a 2-week program thing going where you go in the shop and you work for about 80 hours, I believe, before you jump into the shop. Man, it's a great opportunity, family. They're doing flux core welding, and they're doing art gouging and weld symbols, blueprint reading. If you can do that, family, it's a game changer. They're willing to catch you at the beginning stages and help you grow. But if you're willing to come to work on time, show up, family, those people will really help you. You know what I mean? Like, no lie, hands down. When I got out of prison, fam, I was looking for somebody to give me an opportunity. They could have closed the door on me, but they were like, hey, we're willing to give you an opportunity if you show up and you come in here and show us what you got. I never forget what the guy say. Hey man, go in the booth and show me what you got, fam. I never forget it. I went in there, family, and I showed them what I had. You hear me? And I started out with them companies fresh out of prison. I stayed with them a while and then I left. This was years, over 10 years ago. Now I'm back in Little Rock, family, and I'm networking with them. I'm sending students. I'm sending students to them that have been hiring some of my students. They send me welding coupons down here to help me practice with the students. Man, they are a great company for the area. So if you are in Little Rock, surrounding areas, and you're thinking about starting a career in welding, like I say, they got the traveling division. So if you want to travel and be an iron worker, welder, fitter, all you need to have is your uphill and overhead 1 inch. They're gonna do a test uphill, overhead 1 inch coupon, and you can be with that traveling division. Or if you want to get in the shop with the fitting, the welding, for those who want to stay out the elements and stay in the shop where they, get their money. Family, they can get pretty much guarantee you $60K starting out with the overtime. You know what I mean? So it's a game changer, family. So check them out. There's a lot of companies in this area. I want to say that. There's a lot of good companies here. But Lexicon is one of the top 10, one of the top 5, in my personal opinion. And basically because they gave me a chance to. With some people, I have to meet them on a personal standpoint, and I can just tell you what they did for me and what I have watched them do for others. Male, female, black, white, Spanish, whatever. They help whoever. You know what I'm saying? So if you want an opportunity and you're willing to come to work on time, fam, and you're willing to put the work ethics in and start over and then get a good opportunity, check out Lexicon, family. Lexicon, Little Rock, Arkansas. Custom metals, prospect steel. Check them out. Great company. Check them out online. They also on Indeed. They got a couple job offers right now. They look for laborers. They got labor opportunities, welder opportunities. So just check them out, fam. Check them out. So like I say, I'm at the Goodwill Academy off of Scott Hamilton Drive in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is a 16-week welding program. It's only $37.75 and a $100 deposit. So if you know someone, tell someone about this program. Also, let me give a shout out to the Excel Center. The Excel Center that's connected to the Goodwill Academy. If you don't have a high school diploma and you want to get your high school diploma and you're an adult, it is never too late. You can come down to the Excel Center, get your high school diploma for free. And then once you graduate, family, if you put in the work ethics, you get a free scholarship. Welding, CCMA, pharmacy tech, construction, some IT classes, whatever you need. There's opportunities here, Little Rock, Arkansas, for those who are looking for it. This area is a little poverty area, so we know that people in this community needs it, family. So tell a friend, someone coming out of high school, someone coming out of jail, depends on the charges, they'll give you a second chance here. So hey, come down to the Goodwill Academy, even if you're looking for a job. They got opportunities in the warehouse, fam. I'm just trying to help you win, fam. I'm just trying to help you win. They might start you out between 11 and 12 hours, whatever it is at the warehouse, but you can actually work there for 90 days. Come in every day, do what you got to do, and you can get a free scholarship to learn how to weld. Family, it's a win-win situation, but you got to put some work ethics in. You got to be willing to put the work in, and everything gonna turn out for you, fam. So I just want to give a shout out to them. Like I say, I think they're great people. They done gave me an opportunity, and I'm just trying to give someone I know or don't know an opportunity, because a lot of times it be people looking for good jobs and looking for places, and they just don't know, fam. So I'm not, co-signing and say, hey, I believe I sent them up there. Now, if I say I sent you up there, that means I'm co-signing, I believe in you. But I'm telling you, if you can weld and you can pass that test and you want an opportunity, go check out go check out Lexicon, Go check out Lexicon. It's on Fuchsdale Pike, I believe. Check them out. Little Rock, Arkansas. They got custom metals, prospect steel. Win-win, fam. So y'all check them out. Now let's clean this up. I'm gonna let y'all see this, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Ooh, boy, I'm about to put this up for another day. I done dropped some million dimes on here, fam. Like I say, even myself. If you don't do this, you know how they say if you don't use it, you lose it. So I'm always in the booth. Always in the booth with the students, helping them, practicing with them hands-on, and that way it can help me as well. So y'all can see this. I'm on YouTube and TikTok. So I appreciate everybody from checking in with me on both platforms. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate everybody from across different platforms for checking in with me. Like I say, we are in Little Rock, Arkansas, family, Little Rock, Arkansas. I wanted to do this so y'all can kind of see how well 6010, the best tip I can give you on welding a 6010 is to whip it. But whip and pause. Every time you go back, hesitate. Another tip is to start off on your lowest amperage. I start off about 85 amps. I would start it low, and if it's too low, then crank it up 5. And honestly, I think that's a great tip. The next thing is your angle. You see how I was holding it? Your gap, staying real tight, and your travel speed, how fast you're going. Making sure you hesitate. Making sure you're keeping a straight line. Making sure you can see the big picture. You just don't want to drive. I had a guy say, man, I was welding, man, I can't see nothing. His whole hood was completely dirty. I said, man, that's like jumping in the car with mud on the windshield. You gonna take off? You ain't gonna clean the mud off? You just gonna jump in the car and hit somebody, you know what I mean? So always prepare, fam. Clean your hood, get relaxed, get your proper PPE on, get comfortable, and fam, let your next weld, family, be better than the one you just laid, and keep it going. Keep it going, fam, keep it going. So like I say, I believe y'all got this, fam. And if y'all have any more questions or any more video tips you might want me to do, hey, hit me up. Right now, you see me by myself. I don't have a cameraman, so it's hard to do the zooming, but hey, I'm working on it. I think my status is growing. I'm gonna be able to pay somebody to help me out here soon, you know what I mean? So until then, if y'all cool with me, man, keep fooling with me. I appreciate the likes and shares. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper. Have a great Friday. I'll see y'all later, man. God bless.